Couple more people joining.
Yeah,
So we're recording now?
the recording has started. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, call to order the April 27th, 2026 meeting of the North Beach Board of Appeals. Just going to go around the table here and introduce ourselves. I'm Jim Bradshaw. I am the chairman of the Board of the Appeals and look forward to hearing from you guys tonight. And next I have Jessica on the screen below me.
Jessica Kaiser, I'm a member of the Board of Appeals.
Do you want us to just jump in?
Yeah, any of the board members, just go ahead and jump in and introduce yourselves real quick, please.
Okay, Sheila Morgan Johnson.
Thank you, Sheila.
Lisa Thompson, a member of the Board of Appeals.
Thank you. Are any of the other board members on? I don't think so. Rick, you want to just introduce yourself too?
I am Rick Crump. I am the Planning and Zoning Director for the town of North Beach.
Thank you, Rick.
Okay. I'm Stacy Byler. I'm the town clerk, human resource manager for the town.
Thank you, Stacy.
Karen,
Oh, well, Karen Ruff, board attorney. Sorry.
Hi, Karen. Nice to meet you. Okay, so everybody introduction wise? Okay, so we'll jump right into it. I believe the first item on the agenda is a vacation rental for 4038 8th Street. Is that correct? This is the property owners. Sorry, I can't quite read it. Jordan Mifter and Jamie Kingsley. Oh, it's Mixter.
Okay. Yes, Mixter.
Sorry, I butchered that.
That's okay.
So would you just like to tell the board a little bit about what you're proposing to do and just your plans for the house and the vacation rental?
Absolutely. Yeah, so nice to meet you all. Thanks for having me. My name's Jordan Mixter, and myself and my wife Jamie purchased the home in December. We're really excited to be part of the community. We've been there just about every week at this point, just furnishing and settling into the space. You may have seen us if you're in the area doing lots of landscaping about a week ago. So we're just really excited to get together. Our intention is to do infrequent short-term rentals. We put some money into the property when we purchased it. It needed some work in the foundation due to some previous termite damage, and of course just the normal money that goes into furnishing and getting the place up and running. We live in DC most of the time. Both of our jobs are in DC, so our intention would be to rent it in this summer in June and July, hopefully make some of the money back that we put into it, and then hopefully live down there for August and September. So, and then kind of see how it goes. If we enjoy renting it a bit, we would continue, but our intention really is to use it as a second home that we get to enjoy most of the time. But it would be nice to just have that opportunity to, have a little income back from what we put into it.
Okay, great. Thank you for that summary. Rick, before I go into our questions for the proponent, I just want to know if there's anything particular you wanted to point out about the situation. Is there anything unique about it that we need to know about out of the ordinary?
No, there is not. House passed inspection, code enforcement officer inspected the property, and there's nothing extraordinary to report that would affect the hearing.
Okay, great. So Jordan, I've got a set of questions I ask everybody who proposes a vacation rental.
Okay.
I want to run through these questions. So some of these are slightly different than what they used to be. We've worked out some new questions. So just bear with me and answer them to the best of your ability.
Okay, great.
So just a little intro set forth in 3.401 of the zoning ordinance. The applicant applying for a special exemption has a burden of proof, which includes the burden of going forward with the evidence and burden of persuasion on all questions of fact that are to be determined by the Board of Appeals. With that in mind, please respond to the following questions that are based upon section 3.400 of the town code. The first question is, will the establishment maintenance and operation of the special exemption you propose be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, or general welfare?
No.
And if not, why not?
Well, our intention is really just to do some short-term rentals. We love this property. We are so excited to now own it and be part of the community. So the last thing we want to do is anything that would damage the community or the home. We are hopeful that we get some nice families that want to stay there, and enjoy North Beach. But our goal is certainly not to cause any sort of ruckus or damage anything in the property or surroundings.
Okay, thank you for that. So will the special exception proposed be harmonious in character as well as appropriate in appearance with and not injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the neighborhood for the purposes already permitted?
I can't remember the beginning of the question, whether I'm supposed to say yes or no, but it will be harmonious. I just can't remember whether it was a double negative or not.
Right. You're right. It will be harmonious in character as well as appropriate in appearance and not be injurious to. So
Correct. Yes.
you got the right answer. So if it will be, in what way?
It will be harmonious. So, since we've taken over the property, we've already, as I mentioned, made some upgrades to the foundation. There was some rusting happening there, so we've replaced that. We've taken some time to do some landscaping work, edge out some garden beds, plant some grass. We're really trying to make it even more harmonious with our surroundings. Our neighbors do such a lovely job with their yard, and we're now obviously friendly with them. As you can probably imagine, being in North Beach, everyone's friendly, and we're trying to fit right in with that.
Excellent. Okay, so will the special exception will the special exception use substantially diminish and impair property values within the neighborhood?
No.
Okay. Will the establishment of the special exception impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding properties for the use permitted in the district?
No.
Okay, so if not, why not?
It shouldn't be any different than just someone living at the home. This is a infrequent, rental. And again, we would hope to be vetting the people that would be staying there, and they would be
Sure.
courteous to all the surroundings.
Okay, thank you. Are there adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and necessary facilities provided by the property?
Yes.
Okay, so, and can you just identify some of them?
Sure. We're on 8th Street. There's plenty of parking there, right in front of the house. There's no rear entry. There's an alley, but it's not to be used by cars, so people wouldn't be accessing that way. We have 2 working restrooms as seen by the inspector that came out, 2 bathrooms. We did recently, when we did fix this around, we reinstalled a new hose bib so there can be adequate watering for the lawn and things like that.
Great, thank you. So will the pedestrian and vehicle traffic associated with the property be hazardous to or unduly conflict with the existing and anticipated traffic in the neighborhood?
No, it shouldn't change.
Okay. Will the special exception in all other respects conform to the applicable regulations of the district in which it's located?
Yes.
Okay, and if so, how?
Any of the rules that we're aware of, it will be conforming to. To date, since we have been in North Beach, we have made sure to follow all the regulations, including registering our dog at town hall, and we'll get the beach passes when they're available. So obviously putting in this application in and of itself. So we are, we're paying our water and sewage through the portal, doing all the things that we're supposed to do as members of the community.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. Okay, so vacation rentals are special exceptions subject to conditions. Accordingly, in addition to the above, the applicant must also address the requirements of Town Code 17-3-301E, vacation rental. So there's a couple questions related to that. Just bear with me because this is the first time we've gone through these questions at all.
Sure.
Do you as a property owner agree to maintain in good standing a town rental license for the vacation rental?
Yes.
Okay. Do you agree that the maximum number of occupants per bedroom shall be 3?
Yes.
Okay. Do you acknowledge that no subleasing of the vacation rental is permitted?
Yes.
Do you acknowledge that all pets must be housed indoors?
Yes.
And the town currently does not have an official parking permit system. If the system is reinstated, you as an owner will be required to maintain a minimum of 2 parking permits. So is
That's
that
fine.
okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, well done. You're the first person to have been asked this litany of questions, so excellent job. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
now we're going to switch to the board members to see if any of the board members have any specific questions about your proposal or anything they want to find out about it further that I haven't asked already. So board
Okay.
members, do you have any questions for Ms. Mixter?
I don't.
How many parking spaces do you have out front? I mean, how much room do you have for cars?
We have room for at least 2. If they're small cars, you can really fit a third. There's kind of a large area in front of our house, but I think 2 is what we would say comfortably.
Yeah, because that street does get busy on
Busy.
the weekends in summer.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, we are, we've met our neighbors at this point, and on one side of us, those neighbors are only there on the weekends as well. So we kind of look out for each other and the parking situation. We've given them our cell phone numbers should there ever be an issue with anyone that we would consider renting to, or if there is a parking situation, we would hope that they would bring it to our attention. But there is ample room for, I'd say, 2.5 to 3 vehicles.
Okay. That's it from me, Jim.
Great, thank you, Jessica. Anybody else, Sheila, Kisa?
No. Thank you.
Okay. There's no other questions from the
questions
board?
for me.
Oh, I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
go ahead. Okay, thank
Sorry,
you.
internet lag.
that's-
No questions for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to open it up to the public if they have any questions for the proponent. I just indicate that if anybody has any questions for her, to please introduce yourself, indicate your address in the town, and please keep your questions and comments brief. And is there anybody who would like to ask any questions of the proponent? Guessing from the number of people on here that there aren't any, but anybody going once? Going twice? Okay.
Chairman Bradshaw, I just wanted to make note that I did not receive any public comment in the town hall for this project either.
Thank you for letting me know about that.
You're welcome.
Good to know. Okay, so there are no questions and no objections. We can move to board member discussion. Does anybody have anything of particular concern or anything of note we need to go over?
Nothing from me. Everything looks in order.
I agree. Thank you.
I agree.
Okay, we want to, anybody care to make a motion?
Sorry, finding my mute button. Okay, I make a motion to agree the special exception for vacation rental, short-term rental on the property at 4038 8th Street.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the vacation rental for 4038 8th Street. Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Congratulations, Ms. Mixter.
Thank you
for all
very
your
much.
answers, and best of luck.
All right. Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you all. I hope to see you around town one day soon.
Nice meeting you too. Okay, so the next one is item number 2603, I believe. It is a house on 9th Street. Bear with me, I'm trying to get to the item in my list. It is for 4115 9th Street. The proponent's name is Cynthia and Carlos Mata, I believe. Is
Correct.
anybody here representing the Matas?
Yes, Cindy Mata.
Hi, Ms. Mata, nice to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you.
So would you tell us a little bit about your property and your plans for using it as a vacation rental?
Yeah, absolutely. So purchased this home from well, I guess the daughter of the original owners. So it's been wonderful, but also painful to restore it to what I consider kind of the original beauty of the property. But we purchased that at the end of May of last year. They moved out in June, and been working to really kind of beautify it, both inside and outside. Put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into the property. Tears as recent as probably half an hour ago. I'm trying to figure out how to make sure the sod doesn't die. But so but looking forward to. We live in the area. We've been here about 15 years now. We live in Sunderland. 2 kids. One of them still in elementary school over in Sunderland. So we will still maintain our residence in Sunderland, but would like to think that at one point we'd be able to make it to be full-time residents here in North Beach. But in the meantime, set the house up the way that I would like it. And so in the near term, would like to use the short-term rental opportunity to kind of similar to what Jordan said, just recoup some of the investment that's gone into the property. It's been very expensive. So that would be, so the intention in doing that is though to target other families that are looking to enjoy the town of North Beach. It's a special town to us. It always has been. We've wanted to own a property in the town for quite some time. So it's a nice sort of dream realized, but we're looking to share it not for any types of big events or parties, anything like that. We're looking to share it with other families that can appreciate the small quaintness of the town.
Okay, thank you for that. Rick, anything unusual to note about the property or any issues or concerns?
No, there's no issues or concerns.
Okay, great. So Ms. Mata, I'm going to ask you the same questions that I asked Ms. Mixter. Let me read the intro too, just to be sure. As set forth in sections 3-401 of the zoning ordinance, the applicant applying for a special exception has a burden of proof, which includes the burden of going forward with the evidence and a burden of persuasion on all questions of fact that are to be determined by the Board of Appeals. With that in mind, please respond to the following questions that are based on section 3-400 of the town code. Okay. First question. Will the establishment, maintenance, and operation of the special exemption you propose be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, or general welfare?
No, we're maintaining it just as a single family residence, looking for short-term renting of other, small families, or maybe 2 couples.
Okay, thank you. Will the special exception proposed be harmonious in character, as well as appropriate in appearance with and not injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the neighborhood for the purposes already permitted?
It will be harmonious, yes. So I've taken what I feel like is good, great precaution in making sure that any of the exterior changes that were done to the property were to really be, I guess harmonious is the right word, with the town, and really capturing kind of what I consider the history of the cottages and the coastal feel, and hopefully neighbors agree, increasing their property values in the meantime also.
Okay, thank you. Will the special exception use substantially diminish and impair property values within the neighborhood?
I would say no.
And why no?
If so, okay. So, so again, have done a lot of exterior work as far as rehabbing the outside of the property, new siding, change a couple, the windows, have put down grass everywhere, added parking, which is probably more appropriate in another one of your questions coming up, but all the exterior renovations shall increase value for the
Okay.
revenue.
That sounds good. Will the establishment of the special exception impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding properties for the uses permitted in the district?
No impediment. we again are targeting to rent. We'll be screening, just as Jordan said, we will be screening for families. I can absolutely. I'm having a hard time thinking that anyone else will ever stay in this house. This is hard for me to consider with all that's been done to it. But I will be very careful about ensuring that those that are applying to rent here that would be they wouldn't bother the neighbors or anyone else in the town.
Okay. Are there adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and necessary facilities provided to the property?
Yes, we have 2 bathrooms. We have water, of course, running to the house and paying our utilities and all of that. And then we added parking for 1 space. Again, that might be a future question, but certainly utilities available.
Okay. Will the pedestrian and vehicle traffic associated with the proposed special exception use be harmonious to or unduly conflict with the existing and anticipated traffic in the neighborhood? I'm sorry.
Say that again, yeah.
Let me reread that because I
Okay,
changed
thank you.
words. Will the pedestrian vehicle traffic associated with the proposed special exception use be hazardous to or unduly conflict with the existing and anticipated traffic in the neighborhood?
No, it will not be hazardous. I know how sensitive the parking issue can be in the town. And so, one of the main things that we wanted to do was off-street parking to help alleviate that and not add to the problems that the town deals with, particularly on the weekends. So it is parking off-street for definitely for 1 car and then another car that can block in the apron.
Okay. Good to know. Will the special exception in all other respects conform to the applicable regulations of the district in which it's located?
Yes. And we'll be adding, part of our house rules will ensure quiet hours. We'd extend them probably rather than just 10 to 7, we'd be extending them from 10 to 8 to ensure that we're not, causing any noise issues for any of the neighbors.
Okay, that's very good to know. All right, so excuse me. Vacation rentals are special exceptions subject to conditions. Accordingly, in addition to the above, the applicant must address the requirements of the town code section 17.3.301. So do you as a property owner agree to maintain in good standing a town rental license for the vacation rental?
Yes.
Do you agree that the maximum number of occupants per bedroom shall be 3?
Yes.
Do you acknowledge that no subleasing of the vacation rental is permitted?
Yes.
Do you acknowledge that all pets must be housed indoors?
Yes.
And the town currently does not have an official parking permit system. If the town system is reinstated, you as an owner will be required to maintain a minimum of 2 parking permits. Is that
Absolutely. Yes.
okay? Great. Okay, so that's all the standard questions. Thank you for your answers. They're very helpful. Very good answers on the parking and the noise, by the way, because those are the 2 main issues that
Yeah.
concern folks when they have these properties near them. So something to be cognizant of. So we'll switch now to any board members have any questions for Ms. Mata?
I have
Anybody?
a question for Rick. Rick, in your report, in the staff report, it was noted that this property, I believe it's this property. Yes, this property is within the critical area designation. What exactly does that mean?
So the state of Maryland has designated areas within 100 feet of the Chesapeake Bay or tributaries as part of the critical area. That's known as the buffer zone. And then there's another critical area line that's established about every 10 years that has special restrictions on development and redevelopment. What I would note about this property is during their renovations, they did not have to because they didn't add any new impervious, but they did control and put stormwater management on the property that contains all of the runoff that comes from the roof is contained on site. So there's been a major improvement in stormwater management on the property.
Thank you. And it says here that the expected number of days per year that the property will be rented out is 120. and you indicated earlier that it's 100, I'm sorry, in the application is 150. But you indicated that it's 120 consecutive days. Is that what you said earlier?
Um,
Rick,
Mm,
this question's for
okay.
Rick. Is it 120? Did I write it down correctly?
For trains, and I believe I'd have to look, I'm not, for whatever reason, I'm unable to access board docs and some other things. But transient housing is anything 120 days or less consecutive. So if it's
Okay.
over 120 days, it's consecutive rental. It is long-term by one renter.
Okay. So it shouldn't be an issue for this particular applicant?
Sheila, what
No.
he's saying is if you,
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
you have to
understand.
rent it for 3 months straight in order to be
Yeah,
a
I
regular
understand.
rental and
Yeah,
not do
I
the
understand.
extension.
I understand. I just
Yeah.
want to make certain there's no issue. That's all. Yeah, I
Yep,
understand.
no, ma'am, there is no issues.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I have no further questions.
Thank you, Sheila. Any other questions from the board members? No? Nothing. Okay, so open it up for public comment. Do we have anybody who's interested in asking a question or making a comment about the proposal?
Again, Chairman, there was no public comment received in town hall on this property.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, doesn't sound like we have anybody who's interested in commenting. Let's move to the board member discussion. Yeah, everything seems to be in order as far as I'm concerned. It seems like the owners have actually been working quite diligently to try and improve the property. They've done a lot of improvements to the house and the yard, and providing the off-street parking too. So it seems to be, a lot of benefits to the town as far as that's concerned. And anything anybody wants to discuss further?
Cindy, what did you say was the issue with the sod?
It just needs to be, needs to not die. So I have to learn how to
Okay,
try to do a good sprinkling system and, yep,
because it's beautiful.
thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, I agree with Sheila. The house looks really good. The
Mm.
yard
Yeah, it
looks
does.
great.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, any other issues of concern? If not, does anybody would care to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve the short-term rental for 4115 9th Street.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the short-term rental 4115 9th Street. Do we have a second?
I second that.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. All opposed? Guess were you voting against or for?
I said aye.
Okay, I'm sorry. I saw your hand late. That's what I was wondering. Thank you for clarifying. Okay, the ayes have it. Congratulations, Ms. Mata.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it,
Yep.
guys. Thank you.
Mhm.
Bye.
Okay. Is there anything else that we need to discuss on the agenda, Stacy?
I do not have any further items tonight.
Okay. Should we discuss what I mentioned by email about the new questions?
Let's have that internal discussion with Karen.
Okay. You want to do that after everybody drops or do that separately?
Yeah, that's fine. No, I just need to stop the recording and then, then the three of us and Rick should stay on also.
Okay.
All right. So someone make
Thank-
a motion to close the meeting, please, and then I will stop the recording.
I move to close this meeting
Second.
of the Board of Appeals.
Thank you all for joining. Have a good night.
Aye.
Bye.
Good evening. Bye, everyone.
Okay, so, Karen, I don't know if Stacy passed it on, but I was wondering if it made more sense to actually put these questions in writing
on a
on the
second.
application.
Mickey, I need you to jump out, bud. Sorry. There we go.
Wow. I didn't know you had such power.
I was
Um,
right, wasn't I, Karen? He needed to go out.
So
Go ahead,
I just
Jim,
wonder
I'm
if it made
sorry.
more sense to have them answer these questions in writing. Not that I mind asking the questions, but some of these questions, it seems like they might be helpful if they had a little more time to prepare or just absorb the question a little better when they're trying to answer it.
So here's what I'm going to say about that. It is absolutely fine if you want to redo your application and they have to essentially do what we would refer to as a justification statement. Because you have to remember that they're asking for a special exception use, which is a use that the legislative body has identified as a proper use in the zone, but they realize that it has some negative impacts. And so as long as the negative impacts are no greater at this location than they would be anywhere else, then the board can, approve it. So it is incumbent upon the applicant to know the part of the code that governs the short-term vacation rental or whatever special exception is the subject of the application, and to know what the board has as standards for review. So again, if we want to make it part of the application, I think that's perfectly fine. What my concern was when you asked questions at a prior meeting, the applicants, although under the code they have the burden of proof, it seemed as though the staff was really the one who was putting forth that we looked into it and we didn't find any problems with it. And then you would ask your questions and they say yes, no. But the question is, okay, anybody could say yes, but you need to explain how it does or does not comply with that standard.
Sure.
But you could do it in writing. You could take it from the verbal thing and say, the applicant has submitted an application, addressed all the standards in the town code for, and then whatever the use is, and have them expound upon it. Say, you don't need to repeat everything that's in here. We've all read it, but could you please explain?
I mean,
but
we
like
could
I said-
have them, Karen, we could put it in the application, the questions, and just have part of the application say you need to be prepared to answer how these properties fit within this framework of questions. So that way they get a little bit of a preparation as opposed to on the spot, and we still get them verbalize it on a recorded.
During the meeting.
And so that kind of gets to one of the things that I would like to see is in the application, we can refer to town code section, whatever, because that's really what governs us, right? Whatever those standards are for the board to approve a special exception or a variance. And then we have special conditions for certain other uses. And so, Rick, when you do your staff reports, I'm going to ask you to please cite to the town code section under which the applicant applies. And so in there, that'll draw it together too. So I'm sorry about the dog. I have taken the staff report that you did most recently, and I'm making a couple of changes to it to show you what I mean.
Okay.
So I think that from a legal standpoint, 99.9% of the time, it's not going to matter. But when you have that one applicant that doesn't get what they want and they appeal it, we need to make sure we have everything on the record because that's what goes up to the courts.
Okay.
Sounds
So do we agree that we'll take the current application, we'll add in that section with the questions that Jim normally asks so that they should be prepared to enlighten us during the meeting on the questions.
Mhm. If
Okay,
that's how
I'll
the
work
board
on it.
wants to do it, yeah.
All right, well, let me think about it, because, I saw these for the first time this afternoon. And I mean, I think if nothing else, I'd like to propose just a few little tweaks here and there.
Mhm.
Sure,
And then we'll go from there.
but I actually
Okay.
think I actually think the applicants did pretty well tonight with them.
Yeah, I think they did fine.
And so, and just note that the genesis of the questions is directly from the code. So if you look at those
Absolutely.
sections, you can see how you might want to reframe them.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Makes-
Sounds good.
makes
We have,
sense.
we have a plan.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right.
All righty.
Well, thank you.
See you
All
later.
right.
Bye.
Good night.
Have a
Take
good night.
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.